want you to try this for 21 days straight, and I guarantee your life will never be the same. You want to repeat this at least 2 times every single day, best in the morning and right before bed. After 21 days, I want you to come back to this video and comment all of the crazy things that have unfolded in your reality. This is what you need to repeat for 21 days in a row. Universe, I am open and ready for you to start conspiring in my favor to make my dreams come true. And I request for a clear sign in my reality to come to me today. I am open. I am ready. Thank you. Now your only job is to stay open and notice all the stuff that shows up in your life. Supercharge this process by using our new app, InnerTune, the most powerful affirmation app in the world.
The law of attraction says this. It says that whatever you think about, focus on, fantasize about, worry about, talk about, attend to, watch on TV, listen to on the radio, you're going to create more of in your life, especially those things you feel intense feelings about. So when you're talking about how bad it is and you're not feeling good about it, and you're really upset about it, and you're down in the bar, talking about how terrible life is, what I call the Ain't It Awful Club. People go there after work to the Ain't It Awful Club and complain about how miserable their life is. And when you do that, what happens is you actually create more of that because you're sending out a vibration. And that vibration is your thoughts and your feelings that are the result of those thoughts. And so we have to become conscious of our thoughts. We have to become conscious of our feelings. We have to become deliberate thinkers, deliberate creators.
Now, an ignorant person does not understand that they can operate with their intellectual factors, they can choose the picture and get emotionally involved, and they can see the results come about in their life. They don't understand that they're letting their results control their thinking. So they set a goal, but then they look for the signals that it's going to happen. Where they start to look at the empty bank account, the wealth, it's not there. We don't know if we're going to have enough money to keep going. And what we do at that point, we forget our goal and we start to worry. And then we doubt ourselves, and it's a negative experience. It's a psychic disease. That worry instantly and automatically turns into an emotional state called fear. That energy that we call fear, that negative energy, must be expressed through the only medium it can be expressed through, and that's this thing that you live in, your physical body.
Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now, I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command, do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task. One of the ways to launch fast on a task is to take the task and break it up, what is called salami slicing it. Slice a piece of salami. Don't try to eat a whole loaf of salami, you just eat it one slice at a time. Take your task and break it up into small pieces and do one piece at a time. Say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now.
In 1957, Harvard's Dr. Kurt Richter did an experiment. He put rats in a pool where they had to tread water, and they lasted about 15 minutes before failing from exhaustion. But just as they were giving up, they were rescued and gave a few minutes of rest. When put back in the water, they swam, not for minutes, but an astonishing 60 hours. Why? They now had a belief they would be rescued. Their physical stamina hadn't changed. It was their belief that changed minutes into days. Now, imagine what an unshakable belief in yourself can achieve. The universe is always listening. Your mind holds immense power. So, harness it. Manifest your destiny. Use a powerful app called InnerTune to transform your limiting beliefs into an unstoppable force. And remember, no matter how deep the waters of doubt get, always keep swimming towards your beliefs.
If I said right now, everybody in here, we're all gonna run a half marathon in 5 days, all of us, and we all going, yeah, we're getting fired up. I said, yeah, we're gonna start tomorrow at 5 a.m. and everyone's hugging each other. We're gonna start at 5 a.m. We put our hands in, we're motivated. We leave, 5 a.m. comes. It's dark, it might be cold, our bed is comfortable. It's hard to get motivated at 5 in the morning. And maybe you do it one day, but again and again, you're gonna call again. You wanna sell a property, you're gonna go out there again. You're gonna get rejected, you're gonna go do it again and again. That is the X-ray vision. You have to train your brain by doing things that make you uncomfortable consistently to build this mindset that when things get hard, which they will be, we don't shy away, we don't quit, we attack. I'm seeing through all those walls. I'm getting to where I want to go.
There are some toxic habits that keep you weak and in the prison mindset. Number one, wake up and the first thing, use your phone. Bad idea. Second deadly habit, prescription drugs. Take away the symptoms of your problem, not the root of your problem. Number three, bad habit, short form social media content. The shorter the content, the more useless. The shorter the content, the more harmful for your dopamine levels. Number four, deadly habit. The prison you are in keeps you busy with consuming. Look at your day drug and change it simply to consume 10%. Produce and reflect 90% of the day. Be honorable.
Tom Rulewright has a book called Tax-Free Wealth. His goal of the book is to get people to look at the IRS as a partner, not somebody stealing from them. The government knows they're slow. They know the private sector is substantially faster. So instead of them going out and trying to do it themselves, they'll create tax breaks. If I buy my property and it cash flows, let's say the depreciation goes past the cash flow. That means all that money I made, I don't pay taxes on. Anything that's left over, I can put against my active income in my business. So I want as much debt as I can get so I can depreciate against my active income.
Forgiveness does not change the person that hurt you. Are you listening to me? Forgiveness doesn't change that person. Forgiveness changes you. Guess what forgiveness does not do? Forgiveness does not mean you forget. One of the most crazy theories is that you forgive and forget. You don't forget, but you do have the opportunity to forgive every time you remember. There's some things in my life and there's some people in my life that every time I remember, I have to forgive them again. Forgiveness is not a one-time fix-all. Forgiveness is a daily sacrifice that I have to implement so that I can receive what it is that God has for me. If I don't put into practice forgiveness for those that have hurt me and those that have impacted me in a negative way, then I hold myself hostage to a prison that God never intended for me to stay put in.
When we're not feeling good, we are emotionally involved with a destructive concept that we put in here ourselves. It can't make you sick. He can't make you angry. She can't upset you. You got to do it to yourself. Let's consciously and deliberately build a positive idea, get emotionally involved with a positive idea, and simultaneously we move into a positive vibration. Everything changes.
For a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right? And then they need to spend at least one time having a date, and 2 is better. 1 is necessary, 2 is better. That's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.
And I think the great lie in life is that if you ask the average person, you want to be happy or sad, what's your vision? They'd say, I want to be happy. You want to be rich or poor? Most people say, I'd like to be rich. Do you want to contribute or make no difference in the world? I want to contribute. Do you want beautiful memories or no memories? I want memories. So there's a vision. Our issue is depth perception. We think it's further away than it is. And because we think it's so far away, Jay, we create patterns and behaviors in our life that perpetually keep it there. And that's what we do in our life. But what if that's the great lie of life? And what if the truth is that you're one relationship away, one meeting away, one conversation, one podcast, one interview, one new thought, one new emotion, one new tactic or strategy away from completely changing the trajectory of your life?
If you truly believe that you have the power within you to change, the first step would be saying, I have to take responsibility for myself right now because I got to start thinking differently. I got to start acting differently. I got to start feeling different. It's going to be hard. Yeah. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this. But how is self-love born? I've studied this. When a person sits through the fire and sits through all of that anxiety, all that hatred, all that anger, and keeps lowering the volume, sooner or later, the body's going to release it. When it's released, released. Forgiveness is the side effect. You take your attention off that person because you no longer have the emotion to keep your attention on. And in fact, you feel so good. This feels better that you naturally forgive. It's not like, nah, you're forgiven. It's not like, hey, look at me, I'm forgiving you. It's just kind of like, wow, isn't life great? Yeah. Whoa, you're good. I mean, you're good. I'm getting on with my life right now, right? So emotions keep us stuck in the past, and we tell that story, we reaffirm it, we get in trouble.
Stop for a moment and think how lucky you are. You have eyes that you can see the beauty of God's world. You have good hearing so you can listen to bird song, the laughter of children, the music of great artists on radio and television and recordings. You have a sane mind that can enjoy the wonder of books and the art treasures of all ages. You possess an immortal soul that may know and love God and foresee the immortality promised, God's loving children. Indeed, when you stop to count your blessings, do they not far outnumber the misfortunes of life? So maybe the good you have done for your children, your relatives, your friends, which does not seem to be repaid by them, is coming back to you through 100 other channels which you were not aware of until now.
What is your advice to overthinkers?
A quote that has helped me immeasurably, and it's from a book called The Horse, the Boy, the Fox and the Mole. The boy and a horse are in the woods, and the boy says to the horse, I can't see a way through. And the horse says, can you see your next step? And the boy says, yeah. And the horse says, then just take that.
Wow.
And it hit me.
Yeah.
All of the time we look at the goal, we look at the future, we look at the end game, we look at how long a journey it is, and we feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Instead of that, just go, right, I'm not going to worry about that, because that will come. With each step, you will get closer to that. So I don't need to worry about how far away it is. All I need to focus on right now is my next step.
If you have the adventure of your life, then everything that could possibly be granted to you will be granted to you. And then you might ask, well, how do you have the adventure of your life? And the answer is, you tell the truth. And then you might say, well, why is that an adventure? Well, first I could say, try it. But I could say, let's explain it. Why is it an adventure? And also, why is it your adventure? Well, if you're lying, whatever happens to you, that's not your adventure. If you're lying and something happens to you, that's the adventure of the spirit of the lie. The lie that you think you told, but that actually possesses you. And the adventure of the spirit of the lie is hell.
Just before you fall asleep, right at that point where you haven't fallen asleep, but you could, right there, if you can stay relaxed in your heart, while you stay awake in your brain, you can make some really dramatic changes, because you move into this theta brainwave pattern, and that tends to be when the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is wide open. So you could actually rewrite a program. When you have no analytical mind, you're suggestible to information. And what is suggestibility? Your ability to accept it, believe it, to surrender to it as if it's the truth without analyzing it. And that's what actually programs the autonomic nervous system. So we teach people how to regulate their brain states so that they can reprogram.
For a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right? And then they need to spend at least one time having a date, and 2 is better. 1 is necessary, 2 is better. That's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.
If you stay in environments where people don't recognize the value of you, you will shrink your gift to the size of what they can stand. And that's what causes anxiety and depression and stress, because you have had to shrink. I refuse to be small because you think small. I'm not shrinking my vision because you can't catch up. You either better roll with me or you gonna get rolled over.
You and I are going to be manifesting whatever it is you desire during this video right here and right now. This is the I am sure method. Close your eyes and get very clear on your intention. This is going to penetrate your subconscious mind and reprogram it. These 3 words will instantly align you and put you into the frequency of your desire. Affirm out loud, I am sure, followed by your desire in the present tense. For example, I am sure that I am X number of pounds, or I am sure that so-and-so texted me. Until you fall asleep tonight, every time your desire pops into your head, repeat, I am sure, followed by your desire, and watch what happens next.
This is the one thing I started doing that made me a significantly more magnetic and powerful manifester. When you embrace this new mindset, your life will radically transform. All you have to do is start applying the idea that everything happens in your favor, in every single situation, all of the time. Seemingly negative things, like a parking ticket, happen in your favor by embracing the idea that you would have been towed if you parked somewhere else. This simple shift in perspective will shift your vibration and program your subconscious mind to only expect and attract good things. To shift your perspective effortlessly, use our new app, InnerTune, the most powerful subconscious mind reprogramming tool in the world. Try it for only 7 days and you will never look back.
And so if you want to remember a text, what you have to do is read it, and then you have to close the text, and then you have to recall it. And it's the process of the recollection that drives that into your memory. Because it's easy to think that it's just mere exposure, repetitive exposure. It's like, well, that works to some limited degree, but really what you have to do to remember is to practice remembering. For a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right? And then they need to spend at least one time having a date, and 2 is better. 1 is necessary, 2 is better. That's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.
You take this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it, and you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you squeeze it, will apple juice come out. And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it.
If you stay in environments where people don't recognize the value of you, you will shrink your gift to the size of what they can stand. And that's what causes anxiety and depression and stress, because you have had to shrink. I refuse to be small because you think small. I'm not shrinking my vision because you can't catch up. You either better roll with me or you gonna get rolled over.
You want to pray? It's like, pray about your stupidity. Here's a prayer that'll work for sure. You want to see if prayer works? Here's one. This will work. Sit on the edge of your bed. Ask yourself, what bloody stupid thing do I continue to do that's making my life more miserable than it has to be, and everyone else's life around me, that I could give up, that I would give up? You'll get an answer. It won't be one you want. That's how you'll know it's true. But if you act on it, then your life will improve. And that's a proper prayer. Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
You take this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it, and you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you squeeze it, will apple juice come out. And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it.
Speak these 5 lines every morning. 1, I am the best. 2, I can do it alone. 3, the universe always has my back. 4, today is my day. And 5, I am a winner.
Last year, I did a cost segregation study on my 64-unit apartment building. You get the cash flow for free, the property raises in value, and you get the tax break. And if it passes the cash flow, you can take the remaining depreciation, put it against the profits that you made in your trucking business. If you want to learn more about that, you could read the book Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. It's quite the loophole from the tax game.
You listen to this brutally honest advice and watch your life start to change. 99% is a and 100% is a breeze. Here's what that means. The reason people backslide in destructive behaviors is because it's not 100% commitment. Would you fly on a plane if the laws of physics was 99% certain? Would you marry someone if there was a 90% chance they wouldn't cheat on you and break your heart? When most people make a commitment, if it's not 100%, there's always a sliver of a chance that they'll have an out. When you commit 100% with no chance of out, things are a lot easier. For example, I quit drinking after 10 plus years of doing it almost daily. To my surprise, it wasn't hard. Because the commitment was 100%, it made it way easier. Oftentimes it's not hard, it's thinking that it's hard that makes it hard. And so when you make a true decision of 100%, you're cutting off all the percentages, all the possibilities of not having it happen. So next time you want a result, stop asking, how can I change my life? And start asking, how can I commit 100% to it?
Do you know that you have an image of yourself inside? When you stand in front of a mirror, you see a reflection of the physical you, but that's not the real you. You have a picture of yourself in your mind. Do you know when a person improves their self-image, they change their entire life? Their income changes, their relationship changes, their health changes. And do you know how you do that? Start studying you. Start to find out more about you. There's something phenomenal about you. When you start to understand really who you are, you're God's highest form of creation. There's things about you that just about blow your mind as you start to study and really understand them. You'll walk a little taller. You'll stand a little straighter. And you know something? You'll enjoy a whole lot more of life.
To attract more money into your life like a magnet, save this affirmation and listen to it 10 times before going to sleep and upon waking up. I am a magnet for wealth. Money comes to me naturally and abundantly. I seize wealth-building opportunities with ease. I shed money blocks and live in abundance. I am worthy of financial success. I use wealth to improve my life and help others. Every day I grow richer and more financially secure. Remember to repeat this affirmation regularly with belief and conviction, allowing it to sink directly into your subconscious mind, influencing every area of your life. You can amplify this affirmation with Inner Tune, the #1 tool for reprogramming the subconscious and shattering limiting beliefs.